Hey guys, I'm gonna talk to you a bit about phrasing today. Phrasing's one of those things that, you either hear about it or you don't. Chances are, as a guitar player, you will. People will talk about phrasing, and I'm sure a lot of you know what it is, and a lot of you don't. And a lot of you probably want to get better at it, or find out about it, and know more about it. And, I have kind of a weird perspective on phrasing. I sort of formulated my own ideas on it before I really knew what it meant, but I ended up sticking with my original ideas. And so the way I think about phrasing is I think about it sort of as the whole package. People talk about phrasing as sort of how you string your licks together. Like a... They think about how you string your licks together, what fits with the chords, and what you're playing, and does it sound good. And first of all, as I've said in the comments on another video of mine, Improvising Tips, the universal rule of music is anything that sounds good is good. If it sounds good, it's fine. And that's just that. It's always something that applies to music no matter what. Under certain circumstances, you're going to want to follow certain rules, but generally speaking, the universal rule of music is anything that sounds good is good. But anyways, going with phrasing, the way I think about it is I think about it not only as stringing your licks together, making sure it fits with the backing music and all that stuff, but I think about it sort of individually, note by note as well. I hear a lot of people that are just messing around with the blues, and they sort of just like... it lacks a lot, and that wasn't the best example, but people will do like bends and stuff and just play around with the root, and just stuff like that. It's very dry. It doesn't have much a texture to it, really. But yeah, the way I think about phrasing, I think about it note by note. So I sort of want to give you an example of me playing, I guess, without phrasing and then with phrasing, just to sort of show you more what I mean. So yeah, I'll just do a little blues shuffle in A blues. That's more or less bad phrasing. It doesn't really sound good. It just lacks that punch. It doesn't draw you in. It's just not something that's as enjoyable to listen to rather, as something with better phrasing. And so if I were to play that with better phrasing, it would sound a little bit like... It sounds a lot better, and that wasn't even a spectacular example, but you could tell the phrasing in what I played the second time had more feeling and more punch and more groove, and it just sounded, all in all, a lot better. So the way I would go about improving your phrasing, really, besides playing to backing tracks and just getting better at improvising and making sure your scales are good and you know how to get out of the scale and just play around with other notes that can sort of complement the scale that aren't necessarily inside of it. On top of that, what I recommend is listening to your favorite guitar players. Just go at it. Whether that's Jimmy Page, Jimi Hendrix, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Al Di Meola, just whoever. Joe Bonamassa for me is someone that I think is very talented, and you listen to him and just even in a single bend, like I said, note by note, you see the difference between it. They just like every note that they play is just dramatically better than what normal guitarists like us play, and you listen to it and you're like, well, what can I do? And that's what I did really when I was trying to improve my phrasing. And a lot of that is not about throwing, I guess, vibrato on every note, but a lot of that is vibrato and bends and just paying attention to what notes you're hitting, making sure they're clear and not too terribly dissonant, unless that's what you're going for. And just making sure that every note you play is just sorry, I'm getting a kick out of this playing and stuff, but yeah, you want to make sure every note is just good, and you can tell if it's good or not. If it's a dry note, maybe the picking won't be as good. It might not be as clear. Just if you're playing a lick, just it just doesn't sound as good. Where if you put that feeling in it. It's the timing and the pressure that you put on it and the vibrato and the how long you play it, the picking. It's all that. It's the amalgamation of all of it that makes the phrasing, in my own opinion. And like I said, I've formulated my own ideas, and I just have my own thing about it, I guess, about playing the notes and playing the licks as a whole. And phrasing in a song or phrasing in a jam might be a little bit different, but generally it's going to be similar, if not the same. So you just want to look out for making sure your notes sound good, your licks sound good, and what you're playing is well put together. If you're writing a song, think of it as a composition, and if you're just having a jam, then just put a little feeling in there, and if it doesn't sound good, then just jam some more until it does. There's a that's why there's practice, so you can get better. If it sounds crappy, then just do it again, and eventually it'll sound better. And that's exactly a lot of what I did to improve my stuff. But anyways, if you guys have any questions at all about this lesson, or if I didn't really elaborate enough on certain aspects of it, feel free to type a comment or email me at nicholasjonesguitar@yahoo.com. And I'll answer any questions you have or make a video if you need me to. So, thanks guys. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.